So, Trackhouse, they entered the scene just a few years ago. They wanted to be disruptors, and they had the motto, "Why not us?" So, why MotoGP, and why now do you see their involvement helping grow MotoGP in America? What do you think, Matt?
Well, good evening, everybody. This is a story we kind of caught wind of last week after the Valencia Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago for MotoGP that this was coming down the pipe. And here it is. And of all the motorsport teams in the world at the beginning of this year, your bingo card would not have had Justin Marks and Mr. Worldwide going worldwide and going to MotoGP with Trackhouse Racing. 305 Aprilia, it should be called, frankly, but it isn't. But it's cool. It's really cool. It's one of those, a bit like when Haas came in to Formula One all those years ago. It's good to see an American team on the grid. It will hopefully get more people watching it on television, your side of the Atlantic, and tuning in. There'll obviously be a lot of PR stuff going on around the Kota weekend when we get there for MotoGP, which is in March, April, off the top of my head. But it's really cool to see this happen. Ben says, even though this isn't a full NASCAR story, I'll say it again. Justin Marks is a future Hall of Famer. He is. He's making things happen wherever he goes over these last couple of years. What he's got Kimi Raikkonen in one of his cup cars. He's got SVG on the way and or already winning and now on his way properly next year. And now this has happened. So cool to see. They've got, as you said, a Spaniard and a Portuguese on the bike, which they rode this season. So that is good news. It's not a full, fresh everything. They'll have plenty of experience of the year, and they did pretty well from time to time on it. Adam says, good evening to you, Adam. He says, who wants to see Trackhouse Racing in supercars or IMSA? We were just talking about that backstage before we hit the button to go live. Where do we see them going next? We've talked so much about Andretti Global over the last couple of months. Could Trackhouse be the new Andretti and taking themselves off everywhere across the planet of motorsport? I mean, who knows what's going to happen next. Hello to Demetes in the chat. If you want to get involved, drop your comments about this and the upcoming Formula One story, which there's plenty of talk about. We'll get to that shortly. Do you like the MotoGP? Yes, absolutely. I've only just watched the Indonesian race, though. I'm 6 races behind because they've been so busy at the back end of this year. But it's been a fantastic season of it, and it will be great to have that American team with that. You won't miss that bike. It'll be stand out throughout the field, and every camera shot you'll see the stars and stripes coming through. So hopefully, and Aprilia have been on that upward curve throughout the last couple of years, with Aleix Espargaro getting a couple of wins with the big Aprilia team this year. Then it's all pointing upwards for Aprilia, and as you say, that bike looks very, very slick, based on a old Nicky Hayden testing livery that he ran when he was at Ducati at the back end of the 2000s before he switched to old superbikes. But looks great, and hopefully it goes as well as Aprilia have been going this season. And as I say, everybody, all the bike fans stateside can get behind this team, and hopefully we'll get some more American riders in the system. We've got Joe Roberts in Moto2. He's probably the next best American hope. He's been in that pipeline for some time, and we'll have to wait and see if we can have, like they talked about with Haas, an American team with American drivers, or in this case, riders, in the next few years.
Yeah, this is really interesting for me. I've never watched MotoGP or anything, but this has me very intrigued for next year, so I'll try and tune into a race or two. Now, Carlos Ezpeleta, the chief sporting officer of Dorna Sports, said Trackhouse is perfect for MotoGP because they know how to win and they arrive with their great personality. He also emphasized the importance of independent teams during this competitive era, and Aprilia offer extensive support, which makes this an exciting prospect. And according to of the Sports Business Journal, Justin Marks wants Trackhouse to enter the Indianapolis 500 whenever they find a compelling opportunity. Marks also wants it to be part of the double with one of their NASCAR drivers behind the wheel. And if I had to make a prediction, I bet that'll be SVG. So, Matt, what are your year one expectations for Trackhouse Aprilia MotoGP team? And could Justin Marks be a younger version of Michael Andretti, Chip Ganassi, or Roger Penske with his ambitions across all of motorsport?
Would it be absolutely spot on Shane Van Gisbergen to go to the Indy 500 at some point? That I am all in on.
Yeah.
Is he going to be in that caliber of those teams you mentioned? only time will tell. But what we've seen over the last 2.5, 3 years, whatever it's been now, in the Cup Series, and now with this, what will they add? As Adam posted in his comment before, what comes next for Trackhouse? All just, it's the sky's the limit for Justin Marks, Pitbull, and that team at the moment. And yeah, a Trackhouse Indy 500 Charlotte 600 double would be something we've got that, of course, to look forward to next year with the man behind me on the wall. So that is one thing to look forward to next May. But yeah, I mean, where would the Trackhouse web weave itself over the next couple of years? It could go absolutely anywhere. We could see Trackhouse in the World Rally Championship with Cadillac or something. Yeah, absolutely, completely crazy. Who knows? SVG versus Scotty Mack in the N500. Sign me up. Yes, Adam. Will they do a park-in like they did at Pukekohe all those years ago in Indianapolis Victory Lane? That'd be funny, wouldn't it? But all that to play out. We'll have to see what this Trackhouse web weaves over the next couple of years, as I say.